Okay, I wasn't planning on ever telling this story. Not because I'm embarrassed, but because it still makes my chest tighten every time I think about it. Like, truly makes my skin crawl. But maybe you'll understand. Maybe you've had someone in your life who smiled to your face and tore you apart behind your back. Because that's exactly what happened to me on the night before my wedding. But real quick before I get into the mess of it, where are you watching from, and what time is it where you are right now? I love seeing where you're all tuning in from. It seriously blows my mind how far this stuff travels. So drop it in the comments. I'm watching with you. Okay. Buckle up. So, let me take you back to my wedding weekend. My fairy tale turned horror story. We were at this stunning countryside estate. Think rolling hills, twinkle lights, stone fireplaces, the smell of lavender in the breeze. It was the kind of venue that makes you gasp the first time you see it. I'd been planning the wedding for over a year. I had spreadsheets, color-coded folders, vision boards, literally my whole camera roll looked like a bridal Pinterest dream. Everything was finally falling into place. And my maid of honor? Chloe. We were best friends since middle school. I mean it. Since braces and sleepovers and first kisses. We'd been through everything: college breakups, moving across the country, toxic jobs, family drama. She was my sister in everything but blood. I trusted her with everything. So when I asked her to be my maid of honor, she screamed so loud the waiter dropped a tray. We were at brunch. I remember exactly what she ordered: avocado toast with chili flakes and oat milk iced coffee. She cried. Hugged me for too long. I genuinely believed it meant something to her. Now I look back, and I wonder, was that the moment she decided to take it all away? There were signs. I just didn't want to see them. Like at the bridal boutique, when I first tried on the dress. Ivory silk, delicate floral appliques, low back, hand-beaded detail that shimmered when I moved. I stepped out of the fitting room, and everyone gasped. Except Chloe. She just said, "It's nice." Then immediately suggested I try on this other dress that looked like something out of a cheap prom catalog. I laughed it off. I thought maybe she was just tired. Or maybe, a little jealous? But that was Chloe. She was the kind of person who gave backhanded compliments that sounded sweet but cut deep. You're brave for wearing your hair up like that. I wish I had your confidence to pull off that neckline. That kind of stuff. Still, I ignored it. Because that's what you do when someone's been in your life forever. You let things slide. Until they take your wedding dress and ruin the most important day of your life. So it's the night before the wedding. All the bridesmaids and I are at this gorgeous Airbnb, laughing, drinking Prosecco, doing each other's nails. It's cozy, candlelit, full of music and bad dancing and ridiculous inside jokes. At one point, Chloe pulls me aside, and she's like, "Can I talk to you?" I'm thinking she's gonna give me some heartfelt speech about how proud she is, how far we've come. You know, a maid of honor moment. Instead, she says, "Are you sure this is what you want?" And I laugh. I think she's joking. I say, yeah, considering I paid for everything and my fiancé is literally obsessed with me. She laughs too, but there's something behind it. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes. That was the last thing she said to me that night. I went to bed around midnight. My dress was locked in the guest room closet. I'd put it there myself, pressed, steamed, perfect. I even joked with the girls, if anything happens to this dress, I will jump into the nearest lake in my veil. We all laughed. At 6:23 a.m., I woke up. Not to an alarm. But to this feeling. Like my chest was being sat on. I remember walking down the hallway barefoot. It was weirdly quiet. Like, too quiet. I opened the door to the guest room. The closet was open. The garment bag, gone. I froze. Checked the bathroom. Under the bed. Called out for Chloe, no answer. Then I noticed her overnight bag was missing. Her shoes, gone. And my stomach dropped. Like it physically dropped. I ran to the front door. The lock was turned from the inside. She left in the middle of the night. With my dress. At first, I still didn't want to believe it. I thought, no. Maybe she's at the cleaners. Maybe it ripped, and she's getting it fixed. I texted her. Called her. Nothing. Then I got the message. Unknown number. One photo. My dress, shredded. Laying in a dirty parking lot. Like roadkill. And the caption? I told you not everything gets to be perfect. I dropped the phone. I couldn't breathe. My hands were shaking so hard I couldn't even pick it back up. My mom walked in and thought someone had died. Honestly, someone had. The version of my wedding I dreamed of? Gone. But it got worse. Because later that day, Chloe showed up. Not at the wedding. Oh no. At the rehearsal brunch. Wearing a white sundress. Looking smug. I lost it. Like full-on meltdown mode. I stormed up to her, demanded to know why, how, what the hell she was thinking. And she said, with the coldest voice I've ever heard. You've had a perfect life since the day I met you. The family. The guy. The job. The ring. I just wanted one thing to not go your way. Y'all. My knees almost gave out. That's when I realized, this wasn't a friend who snapped. This was someone who had been competing with me for years. And I didn't even know we were playing. The wedding still happened. One of my bridesmaids pulled literal magic, called a boutique she used to intern for, got them to bring an off-the-rack sample dress in under 2 hours. It wasn't what I planned. But when I walked down that aisle and saw my fiancé crying, everything else faded. But it still hurts. And here's the twist. 6 months later. I got a letter. From Chloe. Handwritten. It said. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just letting you know, this wasn't about you. It was about everything I lost. And seeing you get everything broke something in me I didn't know was there. I never responded. Some things aren't forgivable. So, let me ask you this, what would you do if your maid of honor, the person you trusted with your whole heart, stole your wedding dress and sabotaged your big day? Would you confront her? Would you press charges? Would you forgive? Because I think about it all the time. Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious, what would you have done if you were me? Thanks for listening. For real. And if you're getting married soon? Lock down your dress. Trust me.